Imagine that you are floating in the quiet stillness of a dream. You're not sure how you arrived here, but everything around you feels both familiar and yet completely foreign. Soft light shimmers across the landscape of your mind, and as you take in your surroundings, you realize that time here doesn't feel quite the same. The edges of the dreamscape blur, and you find yourself gently pulled forward, drawn into the depths of a world that exists only in your subconscious. In this space, you are no longer bound by the constraints of the waking world. There is no clock ticking, no deadlines looming. You feel a sense of peace, an undeniable calm, as the scenery shifts around you like the brushstrokes of an artist. You walk through fields of golden light, and as you take each step, the world seems to unfold before you effortlessly, as if it were always meant to be this way. There are no obstacles, no rush, only a serene unfolding of moments, just as the dream world moves at its own pace, unburdened by the rules of the real world. But what exactly is happening in your mind right now? As you drift through this dream, it may feel as if you've entered a place outside of time itself. But, in reality, your brain is very much active, processing information, emotions, and memories. Your mind is weaving the threads of your waking life into a narrative that is uniquely yours. A narrative that is shaped by the events of the day and the deeper recesses of your unconscious mind. You are experiencing what scientists call REM stage of sleep, where dreams occur most vividly. During this time, your brain is incredibly active, engaging in complex processes of memory consolidation, emotional processing, and even problem solving. Your body, though at rest, is moving, with rapid eye movements occurring under your closed eyelids, while your mind creates scenes, characters, and worlds that feel as real as anything you might experience while awake. The dream you're having, though it may seem random or whimsical, is actually the result of your brain's ability to process and organize the experiences of the day. Your mind is sorting through the information you've absorbed, filing away memories and making sense of your emotions. And though it may feel like you have no control over the dream, in reality, your subconscious is using these moments to help you make sense of the world. In this moment, as you float through the landscape of your dream, you can't help but marvel at how your brain has the power to create entire worlds while you sleep. And yet, this is just one piece of the intricate dance of sleep and dreams, a process that has fascinated scientists for centuries. You may be unaware of it, but as you sleep, your brain is working tirelessly to process emotions, memories, and experiences. The boundaries between reality and the dream world blur, but your brain remains engaged, constantly processing and adapting to the ever-changing landscape of your inner world. As you continue to drift through this world of dreams, you notice how everything around you shifts and changes, often without warning, as if the dream itself is alive, flowing and undulating like the surface of water. The boundaries between what is real and what is imagined blur even further, and yet you're aware that something deeper is at work. This isn't random, this world, though fleeting and abstract, is carefully woven together by the brain's intricate processes. What you're experiencing is not a passive act. Your brain is actively constructing this dreamscape, navigating through memories, emotions, and sensory impressions from the day. During REM, rapid eye movement sleep, your brain is firing in ways that are more intense than when you are awake. It may seem like the dream world is a free-flowing sequence of images, but it is, in fact, the result of complex neurological processes firing neurons, processing information, and aligning emotions to experiences. In this state, the brain is far from idle. It's actually quite busy, sorting through the clutter of your waking hours, trying to make sense of everything you've experienced. Your mind processes everything: your thoughts, your worries, your dreams and fears, as well as your sensory experiences from the day. This helps you consolidate memories, push aside unnecessary clutter, and store important information for future use. However, this doesn't happen in a linear fashion. Instead, your brain sifts through memories, bringing them together in strange, often confusing ways that make up your dreams. As you wander through this ever-shifting dream world, you might notice how certain elements from your waking life find their way into your dream. A conversation you had earlier in the day, the feeling of a certain object you touched, or even a smell or sound that lingered. Your brain takes these fragments and rearranges them into a narrative. But these fragments are often mixed with older memories and deep-seated emotions that come to the surface when your conscious mind relaxes during sleep. Sometimes, dreams can be a direct reflection of your anxieties or desires. A recurring dream about falling might indicate a fear of losing control or being overwhelmed. A dream about flying might represent the desire for freedom, for release from constraints. Your mind weaves these feelings into the dreamscape, not as a logical or straightforward process, but as a creative reinterpretation of your inner state. The dream world, with all its quirks and oddities, serves as a mirror to your subconscious mind, bringing hidden emotions to light. As you continue to walk through this dream world, you can't help but marvel at how intricate and layered these processes are. The brain isn't just passively replaying experiences, it's actively making sense of them. It's taking the raw material of your life, turning it into something new and unique. The feelings, images, and sensory experiences that seem to come out of nowhere are actually the product of your brain's constant effort to integrate and make sense of everything around you. But how is all this possible? It's the result of a finely tuned system within your brain, primarily controlled by the limbic system, which is responsible for emotions, and the prefrontal cortex, which helps organize and make sense of these emotions and experiences. The amygdala, responsible for processing emotions like fear and pleasure, plays a key role in shaping the emotional tone of your dreams. This dynamic interaction between the different regions of the brain forms the foundation for your nightly journeys through dreamland. The more you think about it, the more you realize that your dream experience, though surreal and abstract, is incredibly sophisticated. Your brain is essentially a dream factory, churning out a new world for you every night, guided by the imprints of your daily life, past memories, and emotional states. And just like that, the dream shifts again. A scene changes, a new landscape emerges, or you're drawn into a new sequence, and it all feels perfectly natural, as though the story unfolding in front of you is exactly where you're supposed to be. This constant flow of images, feelings, and narratives is your brain's way of integrating everything. It's the mind's attempt to reconcile your inner world with the outer one. And as you drift deeper into the experience, the dream world seems more vivid, more engaging, as if you're no longer just observing it, you're a part of it, moving through it as though it were your reality. It's a delicate balance between the conscious mind and the subconscious, where both worlds coexist, allowing you to process and rest all at once. Your brain, during these moments of REM sleep, is at its most creative. It's in a constant state of reconstruction and interpretation, like an artist creating a masterpiece from the raw materials of your life. The emotions, memories, and even the mundane details of your day are transformed into a visual and emotional experience that feels for all intents and purposes, real. This creative process is what gives dreams their strange, surreal quality, what makes them so vivid and immersive. It's not chaos, but rather a natural and purposeful process of mental and emotional integration. As you move deeper into the landscape of your dream, the world around you continues to shift, molding itself to your subconscious mind, weaving together fragments of your waking life with the endless possibilities of your imagination. The dream feels like a seamless blend of reality and fantasy, one where everything exists in harmony, even if the rules of logic and time don't quite apply. Your mind, now fully immersed in this dream, continues its work in ways that you aren't fully aware of, while you're walking through this dreamscape. Experiencing everything as if it's real, your brain is actively processing information and emotions. Your experiences from the day, the events you've encountered, and even the subtle feelings you may not have noticed are all being integrated into this vivid, abstract world. The scenes that shift and change before you, the way objects appear and disappear, aren't random. They are carefully formed by the subconscious mind as it connects the dots of your life, your memories, and your inner feelings. You might notice how your dream shifts from one scene to the next, often without any clear transition. One moment you might be walking through a forest, and the next you could be standing in a city or even flying over a vast ocean. This fluidity of the dream world, where time doesn't follow the linear rules of the waking world, is exactly how your brain works during sleep. During REM sleep, your brain is engaged in a process of intense activity, moving between different regions of the brain responsible for memory, emotion, and sensory experience. It's almost like your brain is filtering through a vast library of memories and emotions, pulling from both recent experiences and deeper, older memories that are stored in your unconscious mind. As you walk through the dream, you might encounter characters, some familiar and others completely new. Perhaps you see a loved one who has passed, or someone you haven't spoken to in years. These interactions, though surreal, are rooted in your mind's way of processing relationships and unresolved emotions. The brain often uses dreams to work through feelings, though they be related to love, fear, or anxiety. It's as if your mind is using these dream sequences to reflect on unresolved thoughts or situations, allowing you to process them in a safe subconscious space. You might also encounter objects in your dream that feel strangely symbolic. A key, for example, could appear, or a particular color might seem to follow you throughout the dream. These symbols, though they might not make sense at first glance, are often a reflection of deeper emotional or psychological processes happening in your brain. You might be dealing with a feeling of being locked out of something in your life, or perhaps there's an unresolved issue that needs to be unlocked. Your subconscious mind weaves these symbols into the fabric of your dream as a way of trying to make sense of emotions that you may not fully understand or express while awake. The more you reflect on the dream, the more you realize that it is not random. Each scene, each shift, is connected to your emotional state, your desires, and your fears. While the dream world may seem chaotic and unpredictable, it is actually the result of your brain's intricate, yet purposeful, effort to understand and make sense of everything that you've experienced. In this sense, dreams are not just mindless wandering, they are an active, creative process that helps you reconcile your inner world with the outer world. Your brain is continuously working, whether you realize it or not, and every dream is part of that larger process. During this phase of REM sleep, your brain is most active, and it's not only consolidating memories, but it's also doing emotional processing, trying to make sense of experiences and feelings. Some dreams may even help you find solutions to problems you've been grappling with. Your mind, while at rest, is constantly at work. It's trying to make sense of the day's events, organize your thoughts, and work through unresolved emotions. This is why, at times, your dreams can feel so emotionally vivid, or even, at times, like a continuation of your waking thoughts and worries. They may feel as if they are tapping into your deepest concerns, your hopes, your fears, and offering new perspectives or insights. You continue to move through your dream, more aware now of how your mind is using this time to work through things. You may not consciously realize. You may begin to recognize the patterns in your dreams, how certain themes or symbols reappear night after night, like a recurring motif in a story. These are the clues your brain is providing, trying to help. You work through certain emotions or memories that still linger unresolved. It's a quiet, ongoing dialogue between your waking self and your subconscious, one that continues as long as you sleep. The dream feels like it's a reflection of your deepest self, a mirror of everything that you are, everything you've experienced, and everything you've yet to confront. As you drift deeper into the dream, you realize that the way it flows, the way it shifts and changes, is part of a larger purpose, to bring you to a deeper understanding of yourself, of the world, and of your place within it. Asterisk, as you journey further into the landscape of your dream, you notice how the world around you continues to shift, moving with the rhythm of your thoughts, emotions, and memories. You feel the pull of the dreamscape, guiding you deeper into a realm that feels both incredibly real and oddly detached from your waking life. In this dream, the laws of physics no longer apply. You walk through dense forests where trees twist and turn into impossible shapes, creating a canopy of color and light that seems to pulse with the energy of the universe itself. You feel the weight of the dream world light, yet tangible like the air is thicker, more vibrant than anything you've experienced in your waking life. As you continue, you feel that the dream is responding to your thoughts. You think about the sky, and suddenly it begins to shift, morphing into a brilliant, deep blue with clouds that swirl and dance in slow motion. You are not just an observer. Here, you are a participant, an active creator of this dream world. Guided by the subtle cues of your subconscious mind, your surroundings begin to take on meaning, as if your brain is taking fragments of your waking life and stitching them into the dream's fabric. You walk through a city from your childhood, familiar and yet distorted, as though seen through a veil of nostalgia. You realize that the places you visit in your dream aren't just random. They are the physical manifestations of emotions and memories that have been locked away in your mind, waiting to be explored. The places, the people, and the feelings in the dream are not just figments of your imagination, but symbols, each one representing a part of you that needs to be understood or released. As you pass through the city, you see faces, some familiar, some strange, but all connected to something deep within you. A friend you haven't spoken to in years, a relative who passed away, a lover from the past. Their presence in your dream is not coincidental. Your brain is drawing on these emotional connections, pulling them from your memory to help you process your feelings and resolve unresolved issues. Perhaps there's something you've been holding on to, something that needs closure, and your subconscious is giving you the opportunity to face it in the safe space of the dream world. You stop at a familiar street corner, a place you've walked many times before in the real world, but here, in the dream, it feels different. The sounds are muffled, the colors more vibrant, and you feel a strange sense of nostalgia mixed with longing. In this moment, you realize that your dream is more than just a random sequence of images. It is your mind's way of exploring your emotional landscape, of going over past memories, unfinished business, and deep-seated emotions that you might not have fully confronted while awake. The dream doesn't just reflect your present state. It's a process of emotional and psychological cleaning. Every scene, every image, is part of your mind's effort to bring clarity, healing, or understanding to aspects of yourself that have been hidden or neglected. As you continue through this dream world, you begin to notice patterns, certain themes, reappear as though your mind is trying to tell you something. Perhaps a specific object, like a key, appears over and over. Maybe you find yourself in rooms that seem familiar but distorted, places where you feel trapped, or in places you know you've been before but cannot place exactly when. These recurring symbols are not random. They are your brain's way of communicating important emotional messages, helping you process unresolved feelings or experiences. These are the clues your subconscious is offering, helping you piece together a story that may be difficult to see in your waking life. Asterisk, you also become aware that in this dream, you have control, perhaps not full control, but the ability to guide the experience. There is a certain awareness in your dream that you hadn't realized before. This is the moment where you recognize the power of lucid dreaming, the ability to consciously participate in the dream and influence its direction. You begin to experiment, making small changes. You focus on the sky and will it to change from deep blue to a soft pink. The clouds swirl, shifting in response to your thoughts. The dream bends and molds round you, reacting to your presence in a way that is both empowering and awe-inspiring. Asterisk. You now see the dream not as a passive experience, but as a collaboration between your conscious and unconscious mind. In this lucid state, your awareness of your subconscious world is heightened. You realize that your dreams are not random or meaningless. They are an ongoing dialogue between your waking self and your deeper consciousness. Every image, every emotion is a conversation. Your subconscious is speaking to you through these symbols, and as you listen, you begin to understand more about yourself, your desires, your fears, and your innermost thoughts. In this moment, you feel the deep interconnectedness between your waking life and your dream world. The dream becomes an extension of yourself, your mind's way of organizing the chaos of your thoughts, memories, and emotions. And as you continue to explore this dream world, you realize that it's not just a space of fantasy, but a place of deep emotional and psychological growth. In this place, you are free to confront the parts of yourself that you've avoided or ignored, to heal old wounds, and to finally bring closure to unresolved issues. As you move further into the depths of your dream, the landscape continues to shift and change, becoming more vivid, more personal, and yet still entirely fluid, like an ever-evolving tapestry woven from the threads of your thoughts, memories, and subconscious desires. You notice how the world around you becomes increasingly malleable. A familiar place from your past appears, but it is not exactly as you remember it. The details are twisted, exaggerated, or missing altogether, like a memory fading with time, leaving behind only traces of what once was. You might find yourself in a house from your childhood, walking through rooms that look different but somehow feel the same. The colors are brighter, the air thicker, and the furniture seems slightly off, as though it's trying to tell you something important. Your brain is drawing on old memories, reconfiguring them into something newer version of reality that is more symbolic than literal. As you walk through this dream world, the imagery becomes more layered, more abstract. The hallway you enter seems to stretch longer than it should, with doors that appear out of nowhere. You might open one, expecting to find a room, but instead, it leads you somewhere completely unexpected, a vast, open field, a distant mountain, range, or even a place that doesn't exist in your waking life at all. These shifts, these changes in scenery, are not random. They are your subconscious mind's way of navigating through the labyrinth of your own inner world. What you see and experience in your dreams is a reflection of everything you have seen, felt, and lived. But it is also a reflection of what you have yet to confront: hidden fears, desires, hopes, and regrets. You might encounter figures in this dreamscape, familiar faces, strangers, or even versions of yourself. These characters are not merely figments of your imagination. They are the embodiments of emotions and experiences. A loved one may appear in your dream, but they may not behave the way you expect. Perhaps they offer advice, comfort, or a sense of closure to a lingering conflict you've been avoiding. Or maybe they simply observe, saying nothing, reflecting the feelings you've had but haven't fully addressed. These figures are here to help you make sense of your emotions, to guide you toward healing, or to help you acknowledge something that you've been unwilling to face in your waking life. With each passing moment, you become more aware that this dream is not just a passive experience, is a journey. Your subconscious mind is actively guiding you, pulling you toward deeper understanding and insight. There is a sense of purpose in the dream. Every turn, every new room, every new scene is a key to unlocking something deeper within yourself. The people, places, and events you encounter in your dream are not random. They are messages, invitations to reflect on your past, your present, and your future. You may even find yourself having conversations with these dream figures. You might ask them questions, seeking clarity or understanding about your life. You realize, however, is that the answers you receive are not as important as the process of asking. The questions themselves reflect your inner struggles, your deepest desires, and your emotional needs. The dream world is providing you with the space to voice those concerns, to seek answers that may not be immediately clear in your waking life. The more you allow yourself to be present in the dream, the more you begin to understand its language. It is not a language of words, but a language of images, feelings, and sensations. Every moment in the dream is rich with meaning, and the more you pay attention, the more you realize that every detail has significance. The swirling patterns in the sky, the shifting colors of the landscape, even the objects you encounter, all are representations of parts of yourself, aspects of your consciousness trying to communicate with you. You notice that the dream is not always linear. It doesn't follow the straightforward flow of events like a story would. Instead, it jumps from scene to scene, fluidly connecting different aspects of your psyche. This disjointed nature, though at first confusing, begins to make sense. The dream is a tapestry of memories, desires, and unresolved emotions, each fragment connecting with the others, weaving together a cohesive story of your inner world. As you move through it, you feel a sense of deep understanding, as though each new scene is offering you a glimpse into the hidden recesses of your mind. This dreamscape, though surreal, is an incredibly powerful tool for emotional processing. It is a place where your mind can sort through experiences and feelings in ways that the waking world doesn't allow. Through the dream, you are given the opportunity to reflect on the aspects of your life that need attention, that require healing, or that you may have overlooked. It's a space where you can confront your fears, face unresolved conflicts, and find new perspectives on old challenges. And as you walk through the landscape of your dream, you realize that this space, the dream world, is not separate from your waking life. It is an extension of it, a place where your subconscious can work out the problems and emotions that you carry within you. As you continue through this ever-shifting dreamscape, you begin to feel a deeper sense of connection to the strange and surreal world around you. The boundaries between your conscious mind and the dream world grow even blurrier, as though the two realms are merging into one. You find yourself standing at the edge of a vast, shimmering lake, its surface smooth like glass, reflecting the stars. Above, with eerie clarity, the water is calm, yet something beneath its surface stirs, almost as if the lake itself is alive, full of stories, memories, and emotions. You walk along the shoreline, feeling the cool mist on your skin, the soft crunch of sand beneath your feet. With each step, the dream deepens, and with it, your awareness of your subconscious mind grows stronger. You realize that this dream is not merely a random series of images, an intricate process, a method through which your mind is working to process and integrate your deepest emotions, memories, and unresolved experiences. The lake, though beautiful, also feels mysterious. Its stillness mirrors the calm of your mind, but there is something beneath that stillness, something hidden beneath the surface. You kneel down and dip your fingers into the water. The sensation is cool, almost like time itself has stopped. As you pull your hand back, droplets fall like tiny, glowing orbs, splashing softly against the shore. The water reflects your movements, rippling with each touch. Yet the ripples fade almost immediately, leaving the lake undisturbed. It's as though the water, like your mind, processes every thought, every action, yet returns to its peaceful state without lingering on the past. As you gaze into the lake, you see fleeting images, snippets of your past, fragments of memories you've long forgotten, reflections of emotions you may not have fully confronted. Faces of loved ones, moments of joy, sorrow, and even regret flash before you, but they are not overwhelming. They appear and fade, as though your mind is gently sorting through them, letting them pass without judgment, without the weight of unresolved emotion. The lake, like your subconscious, is a place where everything is stored: your hopes, your fears, your unspoken desires, and here, in the stillness, they are given space to be acknowledged, understood, and released. You continue walking along the shoreline, your feet sinking gently into the soft sand, each step leaving a brief imprint that is quickly washed away by the ripples of the water. The dream world around you feels infinite, stretching on forever, yet it remains in perfect harmony with the rhythm of your breath. As you inhale, you feel the peaceful calm of the water merging with your own inner stillness. Each exhale releases the tension from your body, and with it, the remnants of stress or anxiety that may have lingered in your waking mind. You are no longer concerned with the outside world. The past is behind you, and the future is distant. In this moment, you are completely present, fully immersed in the dream as it unfolds. A figure approaches you, a silhouette against the shimmering light of the lake. At first, it is hard to make out the details, but as the figure draws closer, you realize it is a reflection of yourself, a version of you from a different time or place, perhaps from an earlier chapter in your life. The dream is showing you this version of yourself, an opportunity to face parts of who you were, parts of your past that may have been left unaddressed. The version of yourself in the dream moves with a grace and peace that you may not have felt before. There is no judgment, no expectation, just a quiet presence that mirrors your own. This encounter with yourself is not an accident. It is your mind's way of guiding you through the complexities of who you are, who you were, and who you are becoming. The person you see before you is a reflection of your growth, your challenges, and your capacity to heal. As the figure stands beside you, you feel an unexpected sense of comfort. You realize that this is not a confrontation, but an invitation. The dream is showing you that you are whole, that every part of you, no matter how fractured or unresolved, is part of the same beautiful, evolving story. You are here, in this moment, to integrate all parts of yourself, to accept the past, to embrace the present, and to move forward without fear. The figure reaches out, extending a hand toward you. You hesitate for just a moment, unsure of what it represents, but then you reach out, taking the hand. As your fingers touch, there is a brief flash of light, a sense of unity between your waking self and your dream self. The connection is gentle, but profound, as though the dream is acknowledging that you are not separate from yourself, but an ongoing, connected experience. The moment is fleeting, but it leaves behind a deep sense of peace, a sense that you have come full circle, even if you don't fully understand it yet. As you stand there, hand in hand with your dream self, you realize that this moment, though surreal, is part of your mind's deep healing process. The dream is not an escape, but a journey, a process of integrating all parts of yourself, confronting old wounds, and finding new ways to move forward. You feel lighter, freer, knowing that the dream is giving you the opportunity to heal, to let go, and to move forward with a greater sense of understanding and peace. As you continue to journey through the dream, the scenery begins to shift again, this time drawing you to a vast, open field bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. The space feels limitless, and as you stand in the center, you notice how the dream landscape reflects a deeper emotional truth within yourself. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of wildflowers and fresh grass. You take a deep breath, the cool air filling your lungs, and for a moment, you feel as though time has paused. In this quiet, open space, there is no rush, no need to move forward, and no expectation to be anywhere other than where you are. You are completely immersed in the present moment, standing in this vast, expansive field that stretches endlessly into the horizon. The moonlight, soft and shimmering, bathes everything in its gentle light, casting long shadows and creating a sense of peace that feels both soothing and infinite. As you look around, you realize that the field is not just an external space, a representation of your internal world. The wide open space is symbolic of the freedom you have within your own mind, the uncharted territories of your emotions and desires, waiting to be explored. The beauty of the scene lies in its simplicity. There are no distractions here, no obstacles to navigate. It's just you, the open field, and the vastness of your own thoughts and emotions. The calmness of the environment mirrors the calmness you feel within, and you realize that you have the power to shape what happens next in this dream world. In the distance, you see a small path winding through the field, leading to a distant hill. The path is inviting, not forcing you to go, but gently encouraging you to explore. As you begin to walk, you feel the earth beneath your feet soft and firm. Each step a quiet connection to the ground, grounding you in the present moment. With every step, the path ahead seems to unfold naturally, like the journey of life unknown, yet guided by your own choices. You notice how the horizon doesn't seem so distant anymore, how the hill you saw earlier is now within reach, slowly drawing you forward. As you continue walking, you start to notice the subtle details of the dream world. The sound of the wind in the tall grass becomes more pronounced, a soft, whispering melody that seems to speak directly to you. The night sky above is filled with twinkling stars, each one a point of light that feels somehow connected to you, as though each star represents a dream or a possibility within your mind. The stars move ever so slightly, as if they are gently nudging you, guiding you forward, not with urgency, but with an invitation to explore the unknown. The further you walk, the more you become aware of the emotional undercurrent that the dream is evoking: the wide open field, the clear sky, the soft moonlight. It all feels like a space where you can let go of the fears and anxieties that often cloud your waking mind. Here, in the dream, you are free to explore, free to uncover the layers of your emotions without judgment or interference. The path, which seemed distant at first, now feels like a natural progression, and you begin to realize that this journey through the dream is not just about finding a physical destination, but about finding a deeper understanding of yourself. As you walk closer to the hill, the landscape around you starts to transform, gently shifting and blending like a watercolor painting. The path becomes smoother, more inviting, and you feel a sense of anticipation building within you. There is a moment of stillness, a pause before you reach the top. You stand there for a moment, allowing yourself to take in the vastness of the scene. The open field stretches out before you, the path behind you, and the hill now at your feet. You realize that, just as in life, there is no definitive end to this journey. The hill may be the next step, but it is not the final destination. The journey itself, the experience of moving through the dream, is where the growth happens. You reach the top of the hill and look out over the landscape. From here, the entire field stretches out beneath you, and you can see the subtle shifts in the environment, the way the wind moves the grass, the way the stars flicker overhead, and the way the moonlight changes the contours of the landscape. You feel a deep sense of clarity, as though you are seeing everything in its purest form. You are no longer concerned with where the path leads or what you may encounter along the way. Instead, you are fully immersed in the journey itself, fully present in this moment of exploration and discovery. And in this moment, as the dream continues to unfold, you realize that this journey, this dream, is not just about the places you visit or the people you meet. It's about the process of unfolding, of exploring the parts of yourself that may have been hidden or forgotten. The path ahead is uncertain, just as the future often is in the waking world. But in this dream, you understand that the uncertainty is not something to fear. It is simply part of the adventure. The dream is showing you that you have the power to walk your own path, to explore the depths of your subconscious mind, and to find clarity in places that once seemed unclear. As the dream continues, you find yourself standing at the edge of a dense forest. The path behind you has faded, leaving you surrounded by the soft rustling of leaves and the distant call of birds. The air is fresh, cool, and filled with the scent of pine and earth. The forest feels alive, a place where time moves slowly, and every step you take seems to echo within the vast expanse of nature. You take a deep breath, inhaling the crisp, earthy scent of the trees. The sounds of the forest become more pronounced. Each rustle, each whisper of the wind in the leaves seems to carry its own rhythm, as though the forest itself is breathing. The light filtering through the canopy above is soft, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. The play of light and shadow creates a feeling of calm, a peaceful presence that makes you feel both at ease and deeply connected to the natural world around you. As you walk deeper into the forest, you notice the subtle shifts in the environment. The trees seem to grow taller and closer together, forming an archway overhead, as though guiding you towards something important. The deeper you go, the quieter it becomes. The sounds of the outside world fade, leaving only the sounds of nature to fill the silence. The air becomes cooler, the ground softer, and with every step, you feel more attuned to the forest, more connected to the pulse of the earth beneath your feet. You realize that this forest is not just a physical space, it is a representation of your inner world. The deeper you go, the more you begin to encounter elements of yourself. The trees, with their towering trunks and wide branches, represent the strength and resilience within you. The soft, earthy ground beneath your feet symbolizes the foundation of your beliefs, your core values that have supported you through the years. As you walk, you begin to notice the subtle layers of your emotional landscape, just as the forest contains layers of trees, underbrush, and soil. Each layer represents a different part of yourself, your experiences, your memories, your fears, and your hopes. In the quiet of the forest, you are given the space to reflect. The dream is no longer a distant, abstract experience. It is a journey inward, an opportunity to confront the parts of yourself that you may have left unexplored. As you continue through the forest, you encounter different paths, each one leading you in a different direction. Some paths are clear and well-trodden, others are overgrown, hidden beneath the weight of time and neglect. These paths are metaphors. For the choices you've made in life, some are straightforward, others are less clear, but all are a part of your journey. You feel drawn to one particular path, a narrow, winding trail that seems to disappear into the heart of the forest. The path feels inviting, as though it is calling to you, urging you to follow it. You begin to walk down the path, feeling the soft crunch of leaves beneath your feet. The further you go, the more the forest seems to embrace you, the trees growing closer together, their branches intertwining above you, creating a canopy that feels protective, almost sacred as you walk. The world around you shifts. The dream, once a simple reflection of your thoughts, now feels like a living, breathing entity, one that is responding to your inner thoughts and emotions. You feel a deep connection to the forest, as though the trees and the earth are guiding you, leading you towards something important, something that lies deep within you. The path ahead is not clear, but there is no fear in the uncertainty. Instead, there is a quiet acceptance, a trust in the journey itself. The path becomes more difficult to navigate, the underbrush thickening, the branches of the trees reaching out like arms, trying to stop you, but you press on. You realize that this is not a journey of avoidance, it is a journey of facing what lies ahead, of confronting your fears and uncertainties. The path, though challenging, is exactly what you need. It is pushing you to go deeper, to understand more, to confront the parts of yourself that you have kept hidden. At the end of the path you come to a small clearing. In the center of the clearing is a pool of water, still and reflective, mirroring the sky above. You walk toward it, drawn by its quiet presence. As you gaze into the water, you see your reflection, but it is not exactly as you remember it. The reflection shows you a version of yourself that feels more whole, more at peace. There are no judgments here, no fears, just a calm acceptance of who you are, who you've been, and who you are becoming. In this moment, you realize that this dream, this journey through the forest is not just about exploring your subconscious. It's about finding clarity, about understanding that everything you need to move forward is already within you. The forest, the path, the water, they are all symbols of your inner wisdom, your strength, and your ability to navigate the uncertainties of life. The dream has brought you to this place of understanding, of self-acceptance, and as you stand before the pool of water, you are ready to move forward, ready to embrace the journey that lies ahead. As you stand by the reflective pool in the clearing, a deep sense of peace washes over you, and you notice something extraordinary. The reflection in the water is not just of your face, is of your entire being, all the parts of yourself that you have yet to fully embrace or understand. You see fragments of yourself, each one representing different aspects of who you are, your past, your present, and your potential future, in the stillness of the water. You begin to see memories and feelings from your life gently rising to the surface, just like bubbles in the calm pool. The first memory that emerges is from your childhood, perhaps a moment of joy, something simple, like laughter shared with a loved one, or a quiet moment of peace in nature. This memory, though distant, feels incredibly vivid now, almost as though it is happening all over again. You feel warmth spread through your chest as you remember the feeling of safety, the comfort of innocence, and the simplicity of that time. But the reflections do not stop there. The water now ripples, and the surface distorts, bringing forth new images, some from recent years, some from deeper, more hidden parts of your mind. These are not always memories you were consciously aware of, but now, in the dream, they emerge with a clarity that surprises you. Perhaps it's an unresolved conflict, a conversation you never had the courage to finish, or a fear you've never fully faced. These reflections, though uncomfortable at times, are crucial to your understanding of yourself. They are not meant to hurt you, but rather to guide you toward healing. As the reflections shift, you begin to notice patterns. Certain feelings or events from your past keep resurfacing, circling back, as if the dream is trying to show you that there are aspects of your life that you have not fully processed. The dream is urging you to face these parts of yourself, to acknowledge them so that you can move forward. You realize that these reflections are not just about the past, they are also about the present moment, the choices you are currently making, and how they are shaping the future. You see yourself standing at a crossroads, a decision that you have been avoiding for some time. Perhaps it's a choice in your waking life, something that has been on your mind for weeks or even years. The dream shows you this crossroads as if to say, you are here now. The path you take is up to you. The water, reflecting your deepest self, doesn't rush you, doesn't demand an answer. It simply shows you the possibilities, the potential outcomes of each choice. You are free to take your time, to reflect on what you truly want, what aligns with who you are deep down inside. In this quiet space, you come to understand that the dream is not trying to pressure you. It's not a command to act immediately, but a gentle invitation to consider what you might need in order to heal and grow. The reflection you see in the water, though incomplete and fragmented, is still you. Every part of yourself, the joyful moments, the pain, the uncertainty, is part of the whole picture. You have carried these pieces with you, but now, in the safety of the dream, you can observe them without judgment, without the need to change them. You can simply accept them as part of your journey. As the dream continues, you begin to sense a shift. The water grows even calmer, the ripples fading away as the reflection becomes clearer, more peaceful. The pool, which once mirrored the chaotic dance of memories and emotions, now reflects a more harmonious version of yourself. It's as though, in accepting your past, you have cleared the waters of your subconscious, making space for new growth, new understanding in this moment. You realize that the dream is not just a place of deep reflection, it is also a space for transformation. The waters of the pool have washed away the fear of uncertainty, replacing it with a sense of quiet confidence. The reflection you see is not perfect, but it is whole, complete in its imperfections. You no longer feel the need to hide from the parts of yourself that have been difficult to face. Instead, you feel a sense of gratitude for the journey, for the lessons, and for the opportunity to embrace all that you are, both the light and the shadows. As you turn away from the pool, feeling lighter and more at ease, you begin to sense that the dream is gently guiding you toward your next step. The path ahead remains unclear, but you no longer feel lost. There is a deep, calming certainty that comes with this newfound understanding that no matter what challenges lie ahead, you have the strength to face them. The dream, in all its mystery, has shown you that the journey of self-discovery is never truly complete. It is a continuous unfolding, a beautiful, intricate process that unfolds at its own pace. The dream world may fade as you begin to awaken, but the sense of peace, the connection to your inner self, remains. You carry with you the lessons of the dream, the understanding that time, though fleeting, is not something to fear. It is simply a process, one that you can move through with grace, acceptance, and patience. As you continue to move through the dream, the sense of peace you've found deepens, and the landscape around you begins to shift once more, as if in response to your internal transformation. The dream, once a chaotic swirl of images and emotions, now feels more fluid, more harmonious, as though the different fragments of your subconscious mind are slowly coming together. The path you walk now is smooth and winding, leading you through fields of tall, soft grass that sway gently in the breeze. The golden light of the dream world, though soft, is warm, wrapping you in a sense of comfort. The sky above you is endless, a deep, calming blue that gradually fades into shades of twilight. The stars, though distant, seem closer now, as though they are guiding you through the dream, illuminating your path. There is no longer any hurry. You feel no need to rush forward, for the dream itself seems to be in sync with your inner pace. It moves gently, offering you space to reflect, to heal, and to grow. The breeze that brushes past you carries with it the faint scent of flowers, the kind of scent that feels familiar yet untouchable, like a memory that lingers just beyond your reach. You close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply, taking in the fresh air. The sensation fills your lungs, and as you exhale, you feel a deep sense of release. In this dream, you are free to simply exist, to move at the pace of your own inner world, and in that freedom, you feel your body and mind begin to settle. The sound of the wind in the grass is soft, rhythmic, like a lullaby carrying you forward. It is gentle, unhurried, and it reminds you of the passage of time, not as something urgent, but as something that flows slowly and naturally. In this dream, time feels like it stretches out in front of you, not in a linear fashion, but in a way that allows you to savor each moment without the pressure of needing to move forward. Each step you take is deliberate and full of intention, and with every movement, you feel more connected to the world around you, more aware of your own presence within it. As you walk, the path ahead begins to open up into a wide, open meadow. The light here is softer, more diffused, like the glow of dawn just before the sun rises. The meadow is filled with wildflowers, their colors bright against the soft green of the grass. The air is cool, the atmosphere calm, and as you stand there, you feel a deep sense of gratitude for this moment, this quiet, peaceful moment in the dream, where everything feels right, where time is not a force to be reckoned with, but a companion that moves gently alongside you in the distance. You see a figure standing alone, bathed in the soft light of the dream world. As you approach, you realize that the figure is not entirely unfamiliar. It is a version of yourself, someone you have known, but perhaps not fully seen. This version of you, standing in the meadow, is calm, centered, and serene. Their presence seems to radiate peace, and as you stand before them, you feel an overwhelming sense of recognition. This is not someone else, but a part of you, a part that has always been there, waiting for you to acknowledge it. The figure looks at you, their eyes filled with warmth and understanding. There is no judgment here, only acceptance. The version of yourself that stands before you is not bound by the limitations of your waking mind. They are free from fear, from doubt, from the constraints of time and external expectations. As you gaze into their eyes, you feel a deep connection, as if you are seeing yourself in a way you never have before. This figure represents the inner peace, the wholeness that exists within you, just waiting to be embraced. As you approach the figure, they extend a hand toward you, inviting you to take it. You hesitate for just a moment, but then you reach out, feeling the warmth of their hand as you grasp it. The moment your fingers touch, you feel a rush of energy, a deep sense of calm washing over you. In that moment, everything feels clear. You are whole, you are complete, and you realize that this dream has led you here, to this moment of self-acceptance and inner peace. The figure, now standing beside you, begins to walk with you through the meadow, guiding you forward. There is no rush, no urgency. You walk together, side by side, in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the dream. The landscape continues to shift, but now everything feels purposeful. Every movement, every step, is part of the same journey, the same process of growth and understanding. You are no longer walking alone. You are walking with yourself, in perfect balance. The dream world, once distant and unclear, now feels like a place of clarity, a space where you can process your past, understand your present, and look forward to the future with a new sense of peace. You realize that, in this dream, you have the freedom to explore the deepest parts of yourself, to embrace both the light and the shadows. This is a journey that will continue, not just in the dream world, but in the waking world as well. As the dream continues to unfold, you feel a deeper sense of connection to this world. You have found yourself in a world where the boundaries between your waking reality and the dreamscape have blurred into something fluid, something that feels like a continuation of your own soul's journey. The peaceful rhythm of your steps through the meadow, with your dream self by your side, becomes a meditation, a slow unfolding of your consciousness. With every movement, you feel more attuned to the natural flow of the dream. The air, cool and still, carries with it a sense of completeness, of wholeness, as if every part of the landscape, every blade of grass, every shifting cloud, every faint whisper of the wind is a reflection of your own inner state. The dream is no longer an escape. It is a mirror showing you exactly who you are, who you have been, and who you are becoming, as you walk. The environment begins to subtly change, and you find yourself walking toward a distant mountain range. The path before you now rises gently, guiding you upward, and as you take each step, the sense of expansion within you grows. There is no fear of the climb ahead, no resistance. The mountain, though tall and imposing, feels inviting, as though it is part of the natural course of your journey. You are not climbing to escape or to prove anything. Instead, this climb feels like a natural process, one that is simply a part of your journey, an unfolding that requires patience and acceptance. The sound of your footsteps is soft, steady, blending with the whispers of the wind and the rustling of the trees around you. The further you walk, the more you realize that the mountain is not just a physical object, but a symbol of the challenges and growth that have shaped you. It represents the obstacles you've faced in your life, the moments of difficulty and strife, but also the strength that has carried you through those moments. You realize that every step you take on this mountain is not just a step forward in the dream, is a reflection of your personal growth, your resilience, and your ability to move through challenges with grace. With each step, you feel lighter, as if the weight of past fears and doubts is falling away, piece by piece. The mountain that once seemed so daunting now feels like a path you've been walking your entire life. The rocks beneath your feet are smooth, almost familiar, and the ascent becomes less about struggle and more about alignment. You are not fighting against the mountain. You are simply moving with it, allowing yourself to be guided upward by its steady, silent rhythm. The further you ascend, the clearer your mind becomes, as if the act of climbing is also clearing the way for new thoughts, new possibilities to emerge. At the summit of the mountain, you stop for a moment, your body gently swaying in the breeze. You look out across the vast expanse before you. The world is laid out like a canvas, stretching endlessly in all directions. The horizon is far away, and yet you feel no rush to reach it. In fact, you feel deeply at peace with where you are. In this moment, at the top of the mountain, standing still, looking at the world below. The climb, the journey, has led you here, not as a destination, but as a moment of clarity and reflection. You feel a profound sense of connection to everything, the earth beneath your feet, the sky above you, the wind that moves through the landscape. Everything is in balance. Everything is as it should be. The mountain, which once seemed like an obstacle, now seems like a teacher, showing you that each challenge you face is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The peak of the mountain is not the end of the journey. It is simply another point along the way, one that has provided you with insight and clarity, a deeper understanding of your own strength and resilience. As you stand at the summit, you realize that you are not alone. The dream world, though vast and expansive, is a reflection of the support that you have within you. The mountains, the forests, the fields, they are all manifestations of your inner landscape, guiding you, showing you the way. And even though the climb is over for now, the journey continues. As you move forward with a deeper sense of trust in yourself and in the unfolding process of life, with a final, deep breath, you begin to descend from the mountain, your feet gently retracing the steps you took to reach the summit. The descent feels peaceful, effortless, as though the mountain is guiding you down just as it guided you up. You know that the lessons of the climb of the journey through your own subconscious will stay with you, that they will continue to guide you long after the dream has ended. As you gently descend from the mountain, the landscape around you begins to soften, the path ahead more winding and peaceful, leading you back into the familiar, quiet comfort of the dream. The air feels even more still now, as if the entire world is holding its breath, allowing you to take in this moment of reflection before you return to a place of deep rest. The dream, once vivid and full of shifting scenes, now feels like a gentle lullaby, guiding you toward the deepest state of rest. The once bold colors of the landscape begin to fade into more muted tones, softening into twilight. The path beneath your feet becomes smoother, more familiar. It's as if the dream is preparing you for the return to peace. A final step into a world of calm, where time no longer feels pressing, where the weight of your day is lifted entirely, and you are left with nothing but the serenity of the moment. The distant sounds of the dream world, the wind, the rustling of leaves, the soft calls of the creatures of the night blend together into a soothing hum. This hum, gentle and unhurried, resonates within you. You feel as though the world is quietly whispering to you, reassuring you that there is no need to hurry, that all is as it should be. Every moment in this dream has been leading to this point of return to yourself, to the quiet, peaceful rhythm of your inner world. As you walk, you notice how the path is now leading you back to the clearing, the same one where you first found the reflective pool. The water, still and clear, now reflects the soft light of the moon. The clearing is calm, serene, a place where you feel completely at peace. There is no rush, no expectation, only the soft murmur of your breath, the gentle rhythm of your heartbeat, and the peace that comes with being fully immersed in this moment. You stop by the pool once again, gazing into the water. The reflection you see is no longer fragmented, no longer filled with the chaos of unresolved emotions or memories. Instead, you see yourself clearly whole, peaceful and complete. The figure you saw earlier in the dream, the one who stood beside you, is now reflected in the water beside you, as though both versions of yourself have come together in harmony. You realize that this journey through the dream has not only been about discovering your inner world, but also about reconciling all parts of yourself, accepting your past, your present, and your future as one cohesive, evolving story. With a deep, quiet breath, you step away from the water, feeling lighter, more at peace. The dream has given you the space to explore, to reflect, and to heal. You feel a sense of closure, not because the dream has ended, but because you have learned something important. You have learned that your subconscious mind is not a place of fear or confusion, but a place of understanding and growth. The dream has shown you that the challenges you face, both in your waking life and within your own heart, are simply steps along your journey, each one contributing to your greater self-awareness. The forest, the mountain, the meadow, which part of the dream has offered you something, a lesson, a realization, a piece of yourself that you had yet to fully embrace. And now, as you stand by the pool, ready to leave the dream world behind, you understand that you are not leaving anything behind. The peace you have found, the wisdom you have gained, will stay with you. The dream has not only allowed you to reflect on who you are, but has also prepared you for what comes next. As the dream fades and the edges of your awareness begin to blur, you feel yourself gently returning to the present. The gentle hum of the dream world lingers in your mind like the softest of echoes, and you know that the peace you have found here will stay with you as you move forward. You are now ready to embrace the waking world once more, not with hesitation or fear, but with a calm sense of acceptance, knowing that you carry with you the lessons of the dream, ready to live with a deeper sense of peace, understanding, and connection. And as you gently drift into rest, you feel a sense of profound peace, knowing that the journey of self-discovery, of growth, and of healing is never truly over. It is an ongoing process, a beautiful, never-ending unfolding, always within reach, always within you.